Happy Sunday, folks. Thank you for joining us here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Nick Sertivant. Carlene Bragg is here in studio. This is a special edition of Live Impact News because we wanted to come on air and we wanted to make sure that we have you covered with the latest information. Look, I've gotten a bunch of questions. Carlene has gotten a bunch of questions. We've all gotten a bunch of questions about the arrival of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents here in the Charlotte area. So, again, we want to give you the most pertinent information. We want to give you the latest stuff. We want to try to answer the questions and give you that information in real time. So here's what we know now. And so this is why it's important for you to download WCNC Plus, our mobile app, hop on our website because we have the latest. I want to read you what we have on our website right now. Border Patrol agents arrest 81 people on first day of Charlotte operation. If you remember, we've been reporting they got in yesterday. We were expecting Saturday to be the earliest arrival. Border Patrol was here Saturday. So U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents arrested 81 people in Charlotte on the first day of the, quote, Charlotte's Web operation, according to Commander Gregory Bovino. So here's what we have. So U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents, again, I'm continuing to, I may repeat myself because I just want to make sure you got the information, arrested 81 people during their first day of immigration enforcement operations in Charlotte. The operation, again, also known as Charlotte's Web, began Saturday morning with the first reported sighting on South Boulevard near Paleta Bar and Grill. So Commander Gregory Bovino described those arrests as having, quote, significant criminal and immigration history. 81, he goes on to say, quote, 81, many of whom had significant criminal and immigration history are off the streets, Bovino said, adding that more details about those apprehended would be released on social media. As of Sunday morning, agents resumed making arrests. We've been getting reports. We've been following it. We have reporters out. We have photojournalists out. Just keeping eyes and ears out there, going from location to location. I'll continue to read this web article. So Bovino posted about 4 arrests on his X feed, stating each person has a criminal history and emphasizing the purpose of CBP's, which is Custom Border Patrol's, presence in Charlotte. Quote, criminal illegal aliens, shop 2. Check out who was walking and shopping amongst American citizens today, a violent repeat offender, according to Bovino's post. He also goes on to say in this post, this is why border security matters. This is why we're in Charlotte. Charlotte marks the first city where Border Patrol said it will spearhead immigration enforcement without coordinating with ICE in the same location. While ICE has conducted arrests here in Charlotte previously, the agency was not coordinating with Border Patrol during Saturday's operation. Border Patrol agents were spotted across multiple areas in the city. Again, as I mentioned, South Boulevard, Central Avenue, Albemarle Road, operating near businesses and busy intersections using vans and SUVs. Hundreds of residents have voiced their opposition since the arrival of the agency, gathering for a protest at First Ward Park in Uptown on Saturday. You may have driven by that protest, seen that protest, even watched some of that protest or a lot of that protest here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. So a large crowd formed around 2 p.m. where speakers condemned the operations for stoking fear within Charlotte's immigrant community. Many attendees held signs echoing those concerns in both English and Spanish. We spoke to Asha Patel. She is a community organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. She shared those frustrations with WCNC Charlotte. We played that interview for you, I believe, Friday ahead of those protests. And she said during that interview, quote, we're here to say that we will not tolerate this and we demand Border Patrol leave our city immediately. She also said agents were forced out of their last operation in Chicago because of citizens organizing a mass response in hope the protests in Charlotte will be part of a similar action. Now, the agency has not released detailed information about the nature of the operations or the duration in Charlotte. So again, we have a lot of questions. We're figuring out and we're learning stuff in real time. And as we do, we will share those updates. But I mentioned X, and I mentioned Commander Greg Bavino's X page. So he has been posting about these what he's calling arrests here on his X page, and we'll start with the first post. And we're choosing not to show, because along with those posts are pictures of the folks who were detained. We're choosing not to show those for now. But one of those posts, one of his various posts from about 14 hours ago, he posted, "All day, every day, we will not allow criminal illegal aliens to take over American communities. We will continue to track down illegal aliens in Los Angeles, Chicago, or any other city we choose. That is the way this team operates." That is that post. Again, some of the posts, and we're choosing not to show some of these posts because of the pictures. We have to do some background work. We have to do our due diligence as journalists. And so I will say this. I will read a couple of them. One from 4 hours ago. Criminal illegal alien shop. 2, check out who was walking and shopping amongst American citizens today. A violent repeat offender. Our agents arrested this Honduran illegal alien with a violent criminal history, multiple simple assaults, shoplifting, and an aggravated felony assault that put him behind bars for 4 years. This is why border security matters. This is why we're here in Charlotte. So I'll scroll up. He's been posting on X pictures and the folks that have been detained on his timeline. The latest one is from about 50 minutes ago. He posted, "This illegal alien from Mexico has 3 DUIs, a DWI convictions. I should say has 3 DUIs/DWI convictions. We arrested him, taking him off the streets of Charlotte so he can't continue to ignore our laws and drive intoxicated on the same roads you and your loved ones are on." So those are just a couple of the posts on X. Again, we are working to give you the most pertinent information, the latest information on this operation. Again, we don't have a lot of details on exactly what these operations entail, when they start or when they stop, how long they're going to be here. We don't know. And so we will continue to keep eyes and ears, as we always do here, and bring that to you here on WCNC Plus, WCNC Charlotte, on the TV side of things. So we were on live Impact News yesterday, all day yesterday. Vanessa Rufus, Jay Monreal, here in studio, giving you updates following this protest. Jay Monreal spoke with Susan Rodriguez-McDowell on the presence of Border Patrol in Charlotte. She is Mecklenburg County Commissioner. Again, she addressed the Border Patrol operations here in Charlotte. Let's take a listen in to that conversation from yesterday evening with Jay Monreal. Let's take a listen in.
This is something, obviously, that county and city leaders have been preparing for since we've heard earlier this week that this might happen. What is your take? How are you feeling and reacting to this?
Well, I've been out this morning on Central Avenue and South Boulevard. My husband and I have been trying to go around and just check on some of our friends and people that we know who could be impacted. We went out and tried a new place for breakfast that we've never been to before because we wanted to support small businesses, immigrants-owned small businesses. Honestly, our hearts are really, sick over this, and we're extremely concerned about people who are caught up in this whole shock and awe campaign that's going on here, and so we're holding back the tears, but we're trying to be out there and show solidarity and support to our friends and neighbors.
Now that we know and we've seen some video evidence of some smaller operations and encounters taking place, what is the expectation from your side, and what can residents do to support, fellow Charlotteans might be more vulnerable in this position?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one, if people want to support, definitely, donating to organizations that are trying to help, like the Latin American Coalición, Comunidad Colectiva, the Carolina Migrant Network, Our Bridge for Kids. These are all organizations that are mobilizing to try to help folks. We have, a bunch of, like lawyers who are, trying to help with immigration. We have just, I think going out and supporting those businesses so that they can stay afloat is something that everyone can do. I think it's surrounding our immigrant community with support that is number one that we can do.
Some other leaders, like Representative Ralph Norman, also saying that this is a good thing for Mecklenburg County, and this is to target and deal with folks who have committed crimes, and it is against criminals. What do you say to that?
I haven't seen what the evidence is that they're only picking up criminals. So I think because there's such a lack of communication going on, it's kind of like they're coming in and doing their thing, but they're not involving the locals as far as the elected officials. We have no idea who they're going after, and we don't know, we don't have any details. And so, it's hard to sort of trust what they're doing when you've seen the eyewitness accounts on TV from Chicago and other places to see the tactics that are being used. So at this point, I haven't seen the evidence. A lot of folks have shared videos with me, just of like one-off people being detained and things like that. But I haven't actually seen, who they're arresting. Of course, all of us support getting actual criminals off of our streets, no matter where they're from. So we would always welcome that support. But when you come in a way like this, where you're using tactics that are, these are masked, all the videos I've seen, these agents are masked, and they're coming in and they're being very aggressive. And so I don't think that is in the best interest of Mecklenburg County or Charlotte.
Would you hear from your constituents now, besides showing you videos? Do you get a sense of real deep fear and concern about their livelihoods?
Yes, I definitely have. I've spoken to a number of my friends who have businesses here, and they feel heartbroken, they feel angry, and they feel like they're being scapegoated, and they feel like they've been here for decades, and they feel like they're being treated like animals, and it's just not fair. And these are folks who are permanent residents, right? Like, so, they are legal, but they are still being impacted. And, I think people need to realize that there are a lot of mixed status families in our community. So that might mean that you have an abuela, you have grandma who is one status, and then you have parents and children that are different statuses, and so it tends to rip families apart, and so the fear is just really being felt right now, and anger and sadness.
What is the hope here now? Because now we're seeing it happen, right? So we can deny and be confused and be frustrated and ask. I think the big question is, why here? Why, with all these other big cities, LA, Chicago, now Charlotte? And so now that it is happening from a point of acceptance, how do you move forward? How do folks that are directly impacted move forward? What can be the best outcome right now?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
right.
I know that this Tuesday, the county commission we're going to have a resolution around support for our immigrant community, and also emphasizing, constitutional rights and protections that are in place for all people in the United States, no matter what their status is. As far as what people can be doing or how we can support, honestly, I don't know, because we don't have that transparency with this administration. We don't know who the folks are that are being taken, and we don't know where they're being taken to. If they would share those kind of details, I think that would be a huge step in the right direction. Like, give us the evidence, who you detained, was that a target, where are they going? I've heard of one account of a gentleman who was seized in a parking lot, and he actually left his hat with his phone number on it so that people could know, because people are being disappeared, like they're being taken and their car is just left in a parking lot. And so how do you know if that person's coming home or not? Like, you don't know. So these kind of things that are very, people don't know what's coming next. And so as that information can be released in the fastest way possible, that would be a step towards good faith effort into calming the community. We don't want to induce any kind of panic. And so the more transparency there can be, that would be best.
And just being a county leader here in Mecklenburg County, Susan, how surreal is this for you, just kind of looking from the outside in?
I think surreal is a great word, because when you see things on TV in other cities, it doesn't feel like it's quite impacting you, but when it comes to your city and to your county, and the people that are being impacted. We always feel things more when it's our own people, right?
Sure.
Like that's just natural. But it really is a sinking feeling, being an elected leader at this time and feeling like this is another crisis, that's come along to our community. And it feels like there's just one after the other.
Doesn't it, though?
It really does.
We were just saying, all right, so the federal government shut down over for now. Let's take no, we can't.
Right. No breathers here.
No breathers. Can't come up for air just yet.
Yeah. And I think, I just want to say, I think that it's going to be worse. It's going to get worse over this next year, because we know that there's a really important election coming up in 2026. And I think that might be one reason why Charlotte is being targeted, is because it's one of the largest places of having Democratic representation. And I think that, Republicans want to paint our city, our county, as a dangerous place, as terrible leadership, and things like that aren't true, because they're trying to tear down the image of Democratic leadership. And when we have Roy Cooper on the ballot, they're going to try to do everything they can to weaken him as a candidate. And so I think that things are going to get worse in Charlotte because of that. I think we'll be targeted any way that they can tarnish us, they will.
So almost just go ahead and expect the worst.
I think so. I don't know what it looks like, but I think we can't take any breathers, because I just think we're going to be in the spotlight for political reasons.
For better, for worse.
Yeah.
Susan, anything else you want our viewers to know, or folks and your constituents to know, and people really directly, again, impacted by this situation?
I think that what I would say is that there are a lot of people out there who want to help and who are caring. I went to a business this morning where there was at least 6 or 8 people out front sort of standing guard, because they wanted it to look like you couldn't just walk in here and snatch people. Like, we're standing here watching, and we have our phones at the ready, and we're going to video. So I think that there are people who want to support, and so reach out and let us know how we can support you. That's something that I can tell you, is that yes, there's a bunch of folks who don't have our best at heart, but there are a whole bunch of people, I would say the majority, who do.
That do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We appreciate your time coming in.
Absolutely.
From Mecklenburg County leader, commissioner from District 6, Susan Rodriguez. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, so that was Jay Monreal's one-on-one with Susan Rodriguez-McDowell, getting her reaction, her thoughts. And so what we've been